So you've got a character that you've made in Blender or you've just downloaded it somewhere and you want to add a shirt or some sort of clothing. Well, I'm going to show you how to do this. That's right, we're going to be making a very simple pattern and I'll show you exactly how to set it up in Blender. And then you can just, using some simple cloth sewing, you can just snap it to your character. The cool thing about this is you can have it kind of running on top of the animation. So you can have an animated character and the cloth will be dynamically animating along with it, as you can see. In this case, I just have a simple T pose and the arms fold close. So one thing to keep in mind is I'm not providing this specific character. You can use any character you want. If you already have one lying around, there's a ton of free resources like Adobe Mixamo, Sketchfab, where you can download pre-animated characters. Go ahead, just look that up. They're easy to find and bring into Blender. But in this case, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. We'll start by just laying out the simple pattern. Very, very simple. And then just like this, snapping it to the character. And you can see here, this is the result. It's just a very cool looking shirt. Yeah, so those of you who are on the Patreon, by the way, you'll be getting access to this exact same blend file. If you're not on Patreon, you can still support the channel by just watching and giving a subscription, giving a like. That really helps out. So let's jump in and make a awesome looking shirt simulation in Blender that's beginner friendly. So like I've mentioned in the intro, go ahead and get a character for yourself. And it's ideal if you do an animation to have it start in a T pose like this. It doesn't have to be as extreme as this, but anything kind of where the arms are a little bit up is really going to help you if your plan is to put this on an animated character. Now this is just a model that I have that I've added a rig to and just animated the arms kind of like starting like that and then kind of going down. Okay, but the main focus in the tutorial here is obviously making a shirt. So what you're going to do, you're going to make sure that your character of choice is in the middle of your scene. And you want to make sure that you select the mesh and you want to go over to your physics, which is this tab over here, and you want to give it a collision. If you don't add a collision to the mesh, then the cloth will go right through it. So right from the start, want to make sure to do that. Also, if you have a rigged character, you want to make sure that your armature always sits on top of the collision in your modifier stack. Otherwise, this won't work. You'll have the cloth simulation happening, but the animation happening afterwards, and it'll be a big mess. So just keep that in mind. So what we're going to do is you'll go Shift A and simply add in a mesh plane. And with the mesh plane, you can go G, Z and move it up and move it to the middle of your character. Now you can see my character is about this scale relative to the plane that's been added in here. And if your character is just way too small or way too big, you know, try and kind of have it more or less at this scale. And what we're going to do, we're going to select that and we'll go into edit mode. And inside of edit mode, in this case, I'm going to make sure I have proportional editing turned off because I actually have it enabled at the moment, which I don't want. And with this whole thing selected, what you're going to do, you're going to go RX90 and you're going to hit enter. And then you're going to go G and Y and move it forward. I'm obviously assuming that your character kind of is facing the front orthographic view, which would be the ideal situation. But you get the idea. You just want a plane sitting in front of your character, just like this. You don't want to go too far forward or too in, just in front like that. With that done, what you're going to do is having it right over the chest here. You're going to right click and you're going to go subdivide. And you can come here to your subdivide tab and let's give it something like 25 subdivisions. Okay, I know it seems like a lot. And then you're going to select it right down the middle here. Okay, and you should see the middle here. It's right in the middle of your character, so don't select those ones. And then you can go X and delete those verts. So what you see here is a perfect half, like so. Then go to your modifiers, add modifier, click on search and type in mirror. Give it a mirror modifier and enable clipping. That way it'll kind of fuse this together. Okay, so I'm just pressing Z every now and then I'm selecting the wireframe or either the solid. So for now, I'll just actually go into solid and enable the X-ray up here. And what I want to do is just kind of select these guys in here like so. Just kind of like this corner. And I'm going to go X and delete those faces. And you can see kind of why it's called a t-shirt, right? You kind of have this T shape. And then at the top here, I can see I need to select some more. So I'm going to select these verts and go delete the verts. So I kind of have this shape here. It might be more or less for you depending on the volume and size of your character. But we just want to kind of establish a rough shape. We're then going to come and just select free verts here, 2 free verts, and go X and delete those verts, like so. And then we can enable proportional editing. And with proportional editing, we can select this vertex and go G, and just kind of lightly drag it up and then go R to rotate. Kind of just get it to follow the profile a little bit. And then we can select this vert here, just kind of move it down a little bit. And proportional editing makes it possible so when you have it enabled, you can kind of roll it to influence the other verts around here. Okay, so that just makes it a little bit more easy. We're also then going to just take this one in the corner. You want to kind of put it just underneath your armpit, which it kind of is over here. So I'm just going to leave it kind of there. Then I'll select all of these ends, and I'm going to go R and just kind of rotate them slightly and go G to move them down. Kind of like that. Maybe rotate them just a little bit more. Just kind of lining them up to the arm. Doesn't have to be too perfect. And if your shirt is too long, you can always delete some bottom verts, which I will in this case, just a few. And here we kind of have like the basic t-shirt design, right? But we're going to make this look a lot better. So we're going to go A to select everything. We're going to right click and go subdivide, like so. So now we have more topology to work with. And then what we're going to do, we'll turn off the X-ray up here. We'll go to our face select option. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and select, make sure there's at least 2 rows at the bottom, but I'm going to go up and just select the row at the top here like so. And for now, I'm going to go to my materials tab. I'm going to go ahead and give this a material, and I'll just call this shirt. Now everything by default will have that material because it's the first material added to the slot. But then I'm going to go plus, and I'm going to go new, and I'm just going to call this material seam. Okay, and then we're going to go down to the viewport display, go to the over here, and just kind of give it a whatever color. I'm going to go with blue. And then with the seam here and all of these guys selected, I'm going to go ahead and assign it. And for now, it just kind of lets us know where we're going to have 2 pieces separated. We're then going to come over here and we'll do the same thing over here. I'm going to select this guy. So the way I did that, by the way, is Shift Alt and left click in the middle here to loop select it. I'm going to assign that seam. And then I'll come over here, Shift Alt, left click on this one. That's also going to be a seam, which I'll just assign to. But I'll just come over here and select this edge and just extrude a few more edges, just for a little bit more like that. There we go. Another thing I'm going to do, it's over here where we have the corner coming together. You see we have this square here. I want to come in here and I want to go to my vertex select option. And I'm going to go K to get the cut tool. I think it stands for knife, or yeah, I think it's knife. And I'll go from this vertex over to this vertex and click, and I'm just going to hit enter. And I'm going to go S, and I'll turn off proportional editing. I'm going to go S and just scale it a bit, kind of move it down like so, and just kind of round this out a little bit like so. There we go. And then I'm going to go Shift Alt left click to loop select this edge, and I'm going to go E to extrude and extrude it, S to kind of scale a little bit, and just kind of have it coming like so. There we go. And then I'm going to go to my edge select option, deselect everything. I'm going to go Shift Alt left click and select this and this, so it's kind of like looping here. Control B and just create a bevel like so, and click, and then assign that seam to it like so. Okay, very good so far. It's all going well. And what we're going to do now is we'll click on a main shirt and we'll come down to the viewport display. Let's just give that a color. Maybe let's go for like a kind of grayish kind of, or blue. Let's go with like kind of a light blue color. Like so. And then I might just select this bit up here, which is going to be a loose piece, a separate piece. I might just select these guys and these guys down here, and I'll go and create another material, create new, assign it, and in the viewport display, for now, I might just make it red. Okay. So what we have here is kind of like the blueprint for our shirt. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press A to select everything. And we're going to go E to extrude, and we're going to extrude it back till it's just at the back here and not sticking through anything. Now, one of the things you're seeing here, and by the way, it's important that you come up here in edit mode to the mesh edit mode and make sure the normals here is enabled so you can see the normals. You can see some of them are pointing in. In fact, all of them are facing in, and that's a problem because Blender needs to look at that. Those normals need to be facing outwards for this cloth to work correctly. So what we're going to do is you'll press A to select everything and go Alt N, so Alt N, and just go recalculate outside. And now all of those normals are pointing outwards like so. Once that's done, you can turn that overlay off if you wish, which I will. And now we're going to go select this face down here, holding in Shift and Control. We're going to click this one, and it selects all of them at the bottom here. I'm going to go X and delete the faces. There we go. And then over here, we're going to select all of these with the arms sticking through at the end. X and delete the faces. And then all of these ones in here. And we're going to go X and delete the faces. Like so. So any of the openings, we want to delete those faces. Then we want to go Shift, Alt, and left click to loops to kind of select the whole section like so. Shift, Alt, and left click over here. And it should select all of those. Everything like this except the front bits. Okay. And then we're also going to come here to our seam, click on it, and then let's just go select. And it'll also select everywhere where there is a seam running here like that. So now we have all of that in place. We're going to go X. And this time we're going to go only faces. So in that case, it leaves the edges in, but deletes only the faces. Then let's go back into object mode. Make sure to save whatever file you're working with. And then go over to your physics, give it a cloth, go to the quality steps, make it 12, scroll down all the way to shape. And under the shape, you're going to go to the sewing, enable it, give it a strength of 20. And then come down to the collisions, enable self collision. And for the distance here, we're going to make it 0.005. And for the distance up here, 0.005. And the quality steps will make 5 over here for the collisions. Make sure you're in frame 1 and make sure to save. Once again, your character should already have that collision added. And just a quick note, your character should also have the normals corrected and facing out like this. If it's something like this, when you enable the normals and they're facing in, just go select everything, go Alt-N and recalculate the outside. That's super important. Anyway, with that done, go to frame 1 and hit the spacebar. And now look at your shirt simulate. How cool is that? I'm just going to pause quickly. I'll select the shirt, right click and shade smooth, and you can see it's kind of looking okay. Okay. And the higher we set these quality steps in our simulation, the better it's going to look. But for now, this is kind of good. But before we go any further, I'm just going to tab into edit mode. And I'll just select the vertex select and I'll go to the proportional editing. And at this point, I'll make a few corrections. I want this to be a little bit more down over here. So I'm going to do that like so at the front. And I think that's good. I'm going to go back into object mode. I'll go to the first frame. That's important. I'm going to hit the spacebar real quick. And there we have it. So there you can see the cloth is looking quite good. But if you want it to have a little bit more wrinkling in it, not be as tight, there is something you can do. You can actually go over to your cloth. And I believe it's under the shape here as well. This didn't always used to be in Blender, but it's something here called the shrinking factor. And if we make this like minus 0.3 or something like that, and we go to frame 1, and we hit the space bar, you're now going to get a little bit more sort of like shrinking. And you can see it's a lot more baggy now. And that's kind of cool. You know, that kind of allows you to not have it be as tight. But it really is a matter of personal preference. You can go ahead and adjust this. I might go minus, I'll go 0.1 and see what that's like. I think 0.1 is a little bit better for me. I think it's not too crazy, but it kind of gives me the results I'm kind of like looking for. So that's kind of cool, but you can mess around with that. But you can see here, this is what we have. Okay, pretty cool. So I'm going to just pause. I'm going to select the shirt. I'm going to go to my modifiers, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go add modifier search and type in solid. Give this guy a solidify and give it a little bit of thickness. There we go. And then if you want to, you can add a sub and give it a subdivision surface. There we go. And you can see this is looking absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do, because I don't like this bluish color here for whatever reason, I know it's stupid and not really relevant to actually making a cloth simulation, but I'm just going to kind of change it in the viewport to something I think looks a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks kind of cooler. I might just change this, see what that looks like. Yeah, I'll go with that for now. Okay, this kind of looks cool. Very manly looking shirt. I really like it. So what we're going to do, we're going to select this shirt. And I only have 120 frames I'm working with. Your animation might be different. Then you're going to go over with your cloth selected to your physics. And you're going to go to your cloth settings and go down to the cache. Now, let's say you have 400 frames of animation that you need the shirt to simulate. You'd change the end frame value to match that. In my case, I only need 120 frames. So that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and click bake, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And here you can see is the final result. I know it looks a little bit different. The only thing I've done is change the viewport colors and added the wireframe overlay, but it's the exact same thing. I just thought it looked a bit better. So while it was caching, I did that, but you can see here, this is the final result. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will be uploading this final file to my Patreon if you guys want to support the channel and get access to this as well. Other than that, if you want to, you can also just give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another fun Blender tutorial, and maybe one that's nice and beginner friendly like this.